So bulls are charging again. So what do you think about the levels going forward for the Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty going forward?
So, what we're really doing here is this. Of course, remember this is the year-end holiday period. We are getting moves across markets, which are typically seen around this time, which is it's a seasonally bullish period that takes us into the early part of January. And what I would think is the markets may continue to attempt going higher towards maybe 21,600, 21,700. But we retain some level of caution heading into what is usually a seasonal high in markets around the Jan of each month, and therefore of each year, and therefore we would really want to stay slightly light into this rally, uh, and then only use the next pullback as a better entry point. So I think it's pretty much run its course. We may be in late stages of this move, and therefore we should have some degree of caution built into our trading.
Okay, let's also welcome on board Jai Bala, Chief Market Technician at castlechaos.com. Jay, thank you so much for joining in with us this afternoon as well. And markets, Nifty, yes, new record high levels. And yes, after 3 trading sessions, finally it's back to those new record high levels. What is your view? Where do you see this market headed as well? What do you think is now actually going to be the contributing factor for the market going forward when you look at the Nifty?
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. See, the markets are clocking new highs, but it's lost momentum in multiple sectors. But this doesn't mean the markets aren't continuing to go up. It's going to continue to go up. But as Rohit correctly pointed out, we need abundant amount of caution here, and your allocation has to be quite light because we are in the late stages of the rally for the markets that started from the middle of 2023. So, my opinion is that we are probably in the last stretch of the bull run for 2023. So, either in the form of a correction or a trend change, we are very watchful of a market reversals here around this point. This doesn't mean that you get short or aggressive around here. The trend is still up, but we are on a watch alert for a reversal here.
Jay, you're saying you all both have actually mentioned, watch alert, a bit of a caution on that front as well. Jay, I want to just talk because since 20th of December post that we've seen HDFC Bank, Reliance, Bharti Airtel, all these names are surely the ones that have been pulling the Nifty up as well. Specifically in terms of, let's talk some of the larger names as well. This momentum, do you think now finally will actually come in from the larger side, the large cap companies, and that is something that will start picking up pace even though we are maintaining caution?
That's right. See, the leaders of this move have been real estate, autos, capital goods, and metals. And those are still continuing to clock higher highs, and they still have a little bit of unfinished structural move. So the large caps are leading from the front. But if you look at the small caps, we have seen some sort of an exhaustive move. But we need confirmation that the mid caps and small caps have topped if they drop below the 21st of December low. So we still haven't got that. But if you see today's market move, the small caps aren't pushing towards record highs, but they are near about it. But it's a little bit of a laggard price action over there. So the leadership is coming from the frontline names, and the leadership sectors have for the last several months have been the sectors that I mentioned. And usually around the significant tops, you get such kind of distributed price action where the large caps go up and the small caps and mid caps lag behind. So be watchful for another signal from these sectors.
Well, thank you for that, Jay. But Rohit, coming to you, I wanted to know about which sectors do you see value in? I mean, even Nifty Realty, they were, they were at record high this year also as well. And where do you see value in? And also, I wanted to ask about the broader indices. Do you see the momentum continuing for mid cap as well as small cap indices relative to the Nifty benchmark index?
So, when you get a strong move, typically mid caps, small caps outperform. But like you were discussing earlier, we have seen some relative underperformance in the broader market indices compared to the large caps. Now, will that really remain? I think on an immediate basis, it is a concern. Medium term, once we do get, the so-called pullback correction at some point of time, it may be a better point to assess whether performance can return, to the broad market. But at this point of time, it's slightly hard to say. In fact, it can be an intermarket divergence, which is slightly negative if the mid caps don't confirm the new highs in the Nifty. So that's something we'll be watching out for. Now, which sectors would really do well? Well, usually we chase the best performing sectors and expect them to continue to do well when we anticipate a move higher to continue. But some of the sectors, for example, public sector stocks have really been exhaustive. They've seen a couple of buying climaxes, which means that volumes really spiking towards the near record highs in these indices. And after that, we often see pullbacks that last for several months. Those highs don't get taken out. So we are seeing that kind of a setup in, say, the PSU stocks. And therefore, and that was one of the best performing parts of the market. And so I think there's some level of caution in chasing the same parts of the market that have been doing well, but that's where you'd want to participate. See, if there is a correction in the market, you'd want to be in the PSUs or the realty, sectors, as you mentioned, and even the metals that have started to pick up now. It's just that the current levels and setup tell us that we should not get carried away, by the FOMO effect of markets. And seasonally, if we look at the month of January, which is what we are really heading into right now, 7 out of 10 times we've actually seen a negative return in the month of January, and therefore that's also another big red flag for us going ahead. But the only thing is markets do tend to go up into early part of January. And so you might see this momentum continue for the next couple of days. But you need to be cautious, ahead of that, knowing that what might happen in the weeks ahead.
And as we speak also, now we have Nifty Bank also that's at record high levels as well. And as of now, all the components of Nifty Bank are trading in at the green. So yes, Nifty Bank at record high levels as well. And Jay, let's just take a look at Nifty Bank, right? At these new levels. Nifty Bank, what is your thought on the Nifty Bank now? What should we be expecting from this front? Do you see this run-up continuing for the banks?
Yeah, thanks for asking this pointed question. This is a very important answer here. The banking index is the most vulnerable for a reversal. It's a very long-term setup and a medium-term setup that's coalescing around the current levels. So the 49,000 to 50,500 levels for the banking index is going to be pretty significant. But from a very short-term perspective, the State Bank of India, which is a heavyweight within the banking sector, has got an unfinished up move. It needs at least one more higher highs beyond 660. So once that is done, my feeling is that it's going to be an exhaustive move, and banking index is going to be the trigger for a pullback reversal, whatever that's going to transpire later on. We'll see as the market unravels then. But the banking sector is something that you have to be extremely cautious, and there is a great potential for a reversal around 49,000 mark for the banking index.
Okay, if we're keeping an eye out on those levels as well. Rohit, I want to ask you as well, just in terms of a quick roundup in terms of banks. PSU banks, those are the ones also that are seeing a good run-up as well, right? So in the banking specifically, do you think PSU banks, that rally is something that we could see continuing there?
So the real trade right now has been this shift towards large caps versus, PSU banks, where you're seeing even a Kotak Bank starting to participate in this move. So I think that is really the really bigger thing to watch out for. PSU banks have already done pretty well for quite a while, which would sort of put me on a back foot, while I'm actually looking at them in terms of, in terms of any fresh trade.
Right. Thank you so much, Rohit, as well as Jeff, for joining in with us this afternoon, especially where we're seeing Nifty Bank hitting all-time high levels. So thank you so much for giving our viewers your opinion, your take on what we should be doing as well.